share with us, Joseph, and just talk through us a little bit about tell people about the club, the nature of the club, and where the website fits in with how you've been promoting it and making it successful.
Sure thing. Thank you, David. Pleasure to be here. Tragicomedy Toastmasters is the club which I established to complete my DTM. This website was the key piece, I feel, in that whole process, from getting people as guests to getting members to ultimately getting club officers and finding my own personal successor as club president. I had, as David mentioned before, done other websites through Toastmasters, free Toast host, obviously. That's the easiest one to do by default. And then I was a district webmaster where we used Joomla. Played around with WordPress a little bit here and there for other projects for school, and then got involved with creating this Tragicomedy Toastmasters website. Wanted something different to separate my club from all other clubs. And this was that key piece. People, when they think about doing Toastmasters, they don't think that the website is as mission critical, but it has saved me so much time with all the features that it has to be able to have all my club members become self-sufficient. Let's take a look at it. I'll share my screen right now. And we all know that this is how people find us still. They go here and do the Find a Club page, and they'll see my club here, which just so happens to be in the area of Cambridge, along with being listed here as an online club. They'll go and click on my Tragicomedy Toastmasters listing. Some people will join the Zoom link right away. Some might call us or text. Some might click the contact button, but most people are going to click right here and then go to the club website. And then they see this landing page. It's just so beautiful in my mind compared to the other options available. We are Tragicomedy Toastmasters, where tragedy meets comedy. You can fully customize that. And then we have this image here in keeping with what we do. We have a lot of stand-up comedians where that's a microphone representing that. And then you can scroll down as a guest to see some pictures here of us being silly. As you go down, you'll see some options for some meetings to RSVP now. Some people might not be sold right yet. They'll want to see some more information, learn more about us, how we're a thespian club with a focus on dramatic arts. Then they'll see all of our accolades here. David has made this so easy to do. You could just edit the page and then scroll down on any page, and it's just all right there. You could type in, and we just had our Club Mentor of the Year become the district winner of that award for Club Mentor of the Year. And I just added him here. And then we have a cute little video here, which I'll show you just a few seconds of it. So it was so easy to add this. I just uploaded the video and then pasted it right in this section. And we're going to do more like that. Right now, it's pretty much information rich with pictures. But our next big project for people who are guests and newer members is to look at some of these menu items here, especially the role descriptions, which you can click on right there. You can click on individual ones here. There are so many ways to click around. So we're thinking about doing, say, table topics participant. That is the first one that most guests will do. We'll add a video here to just explain that. And if people want, they can go and look at all the other ways to practice impromptu speaking. I just copy this URL when we have a guest who's thinking about visiting our club, and I send them that to give them an explanation of what table topics is. They can look at this link here. Whose line is it anyway? That's improv games. That's how we do our club, being Tragicomedy. And then they could purchase these materials here, which we directly link to the Toastmasters store to get more practice. And we have some people who do that. We have somebody who's newer who is killing it because he did all of these things, and we're going to have him do the video. We're going to have different members do different roles, And it's going to become even more media rich. But right now we have that solid foundation. So if you were to just go to the homepage, think about RSVPing, that button sticks out right here, plain as day, RSVP. And in case you're wondering, I have a spreadsheet here where I look through all the metrics, and we can just scroll over here on how people heard about us. Early on, we started a little over a year ago. It was mostly the Find a Club page on the Toastmasters International website. But as you scroll down, you see more and more we're getting the club website for people who are hearing about us that way. To the point where towards the bottom, it's almost exclusively the club website. And then we have some word of mouth. So we get more and more members, and then we get word of mouth, people I know and other people know. But for the most part, if it's not somebody you know, it's generally the club website. So we could go ahead and type in here. Let's see, Rachel is one who came recently. Was going to come recently. And we'll just type in her name here, just to give you an example. I don't remember her email or phone, but then we added this so that people can add their gender pronouns. She did, she, her. And so a lot of people write a nice little note. They'll say, oh, I'm an experienced Toastmaster with a DTM, member of 3 clubs. Or they'll say, I'm brand new, getting my feet wet. I'm very nervous with doing public speaking. They'll consent here and hit submit. And then we'll get that email right here from that Rachel Gomez. With all of this information listed, our VPPR can easily get in touch with her and then add that person to the master spreadsheet I just showed you. And then the next feature would be to scroll up here as that VPPR or any member logged into the site and adding Rachel here to do table topics, along with sending that link that I mentioned. And she could look it up right here. We have so many different places. She could look it up right here and just click on that and see it right there. You can go here, click on it here. This is how it's so easy. We just make it foolproof. And you see this on the back end too, with the way David's designed it. When you're doing more administrative stuff, as I'll get into shortly, you can click so many different places to get to the same destination. Now, what if you have somebody who already is a member? They're not a guest. They're getting more established. They already have a user account. I'm not going to go through that. I imagine David already did that. They are looking to sign up for a role and get other people, perhaps in the case of being Toastmaster, that's what generally is the biggest role. They're getting other people to fill up the agenda. Let's look at how we do that on our website. So let's say next week here, you just go through it that way, or you can scroll down here. A lot of people will click on it here. There are so many different ways to get to that day, or you can look it up on the calendar over here. That's what a lot of people do. And even with the calendar, you have multiple options. You could just keep scrolling down, and you'll see the agenda, and you'll scroll down forever, and you'll see all the upcoming agendas. Or you can go over here to the calendar itself and then click on the specific day and see only that day. And then you'll see I'm the presiding officer. I'm the vice president of education. I have to go over a few things having to do with renewals. I'm filling in because our treasurer is out on vacation. And then we're going to have some people such as the Toastmaster Kunal is going over what he's going to do with his role. Let's pretend I'm Kunal for a second. He can add the theme here, and he will go ahead. You can see we have all these options where you can add announcements, first time guests, or we have a new member, Kat Langmead, who just joined. And then he could add the theme here as well. He could, let's say that we have fall coming up pretty soon. We'll go ahead and add fall. Okay. And then that will add the theme. All right. What am I going to do next as Toastmaster? Typically, I'm going to want to suggest roles to people, and then I'll follow up with an email to everybody. That's how I like to do it. Everybody has their own way. So I could suggest a role, and I used to fill this out with nominating somebody. It's very nice to have this text box here. You can send them a personalized message why you feel they'd be great for the role. But at this point, people, they know the roles and they just trust me. They're getting to be a little bit more experienced, and they just know I'm pinging them to do something. It's only a suggestion, and they could do anything that they want. So in this case, I could pick any member. And what's so cool about this, everybody, is you can see when they last did the role. You can see if they have another role, or you have somebody here who's listed as a planned absence. So you'll generally want to go with somebody who has nothing in parentheses next to them. And that's how we do it. I don't give it too much thought anymore. I just go through and pick a bunch of these whenever I'm Toastmaster. And as VPE, I train all of the mentors to train their mentees the same way. And then the club becomes fully self-sufficient. It's so easy for me to manage. I could just spend 20, 30 seconds on this to just double check it, to have peace of mind. I removed a lot of stuff because I just like keeping it simple. Like I don't have the time for the presenter or the speaker role along with the pathways for all that. But that's what's so cool about this, is customizable. And so you can do it through social media. I feel like this website platform is enough. So we have social media, we have an Instagram, but we're not using it. We just figured, wow, they just come here. This is the whole idea, is to get them to RSVP with us. And we're doing great. We're presence distinguished. We have 2 to 3 guests on average. That was 177 total different guests I showed you have come to our club, or at least reached out to us in the past year. And just the other week, we had a half a dozen. Our biggest week has been 9. So I think we're just fine with Toastmost.